Hi, and thank you for taking the time to look at this Smashfund overview and get a real clear understanding of how the Smashfund compensation works. I know the company's going to be rolling out some great videos to explain that, but in the meantime, we wanted to just take a minute and really break down a couple of key things for you. And one of the things that most people really don't understand is that in regards to crowdfunding, there's some elements of it that really create it, and that includes your social graph, that includes the share economy model that we're talking about. And really, I want to drill down into the viral compensation that Smashfund alludes to when you actually get involved and you get a profile in Smashfund. So let's really kind of talk a little bit about your social graph. So what is your social graph? And so most people, when you think of social media, what you don't realize, if you see the picture in the background, you actually are connected virally to many different people. That's what they mean by a viral video. So if you look at these LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram social media programs, they're really platforms. And although they're not the ones who are bringing in the people, you're bringing in the people. But you have to ask yourself a question. Are you getting compensated for the people that you bring into your viral network? And some of you may have just a handful or a couple hundred. Some of you have tens of thousands or millions of people connected in one of the many different social media platforms. What I think is really incredible is that Smashfund realized that people did try to take advantage of the crowd, and they did that with another model, which I'm sure you're familiar with, crowdfunding. So let's talk about crowdfunding. And if you think of the big players in the space, like a Kickstarter, GoFundMe, Indiegogo, there's a couple different ways that they work. So Kickstarter is really more professional in regards to a product that's already really developed. They won't even take it if your product isn't ready to go or your technology isn't ready to go. You're going to spend a lot of money to get on that platform properly, and at the end of the day, they're still leveraging your crowd, but more importantly, when you work with a Kickstarter, they're taking a percentage of whatever monies that you raise, and if you don't hit your target, they're not going to pay you. In addition, you're not really owning anything when you're part of Kickstarter. You're really just giving away a product when it gets released, or a pre-release, or maybe sharing services of your technology. Now then you go to a GoFundMe. Now a GoFundMe is more of a passion or a project, something that either you're trying to help to make the world a better place, or you're designing something that is really close to your heart. Either way, you can use GoFundMe as more of a charity, more of a way to raise capital. And then you look at something like Indiegogo. Indiegogo is more of an equity share, where you actually put a project up and people actually have a share or an ownership in your project. However, there's one thing that I can say is that when you look at crowdfunding, it's supposed to hit $120 billion by the year 2020. Now that's staggering, but more importantly than that is only 11% of people, or less than 11%, are actually successful on these platforms. So let's really drill down to the next big thing in crowdfunding, in social media. What is you're hearing all about? And that is the share economy. Now, the share economy by far is probably one of the most exciting new developments of the 21st century. So when you really break down the share economy that we're thinking of, and when you really look at how we can be involved in it, there's a lot of aspects of it that are exciting. And so what I want to do is I want to kind of go over some of those things in detail today. So share economy is really simple. They really share 80% of the revenue back with you. So as an example, Alibaba is an online platform that doesn't really have any own products. They use your products and just give you a platform. Airbnb doesn't have any of their own hotels or any of their own apartments. They use yours, but they provide the platform. And of course, Uber, as we all know, they don't have their own cars, even though all of these are the largest in their category. But Uber, as an example, they use your car, and again, they provide the platform. So what Rob Tolles, the CEO and founder of Smashfund, decided, he said, look, let's use share economy with crowdfunding, and let's educate people on how to crowdfund properly and also to increase the size of their crowd. Now, let's really drill into what does that mean. So how are you going to earn money from the viral compensation that is Smashfund? What are they actually doing, and how are they doing it so you can get compensated on it? Well, we're going to dig into that, and we're going to drill down to that deep right now. So when you think about Smashfund as a model, realize that at the beginning, you are getting a profile on the network. You become a referring creator. At the very beginning, you have yourself, and then of course, you're able to build a viral network. Now, anybody you personally bring into the business, you're going to get paid $50. Anybody you directly bring in every single month that they are on the platform and they're paid members on the platform. So as a paid member, just like in a LinkedIn professional, you have access to your entire network. You pay $149 a month. However, if you just refer 3 people that have a passion or a project similar to you, you're virtually free. But to go one step further, they're going to pay out up to 16,000 viral connections away from you. And what a viral connection is, somebody who's indirect to you. Now, what's amazing about the algorithm or the IP, intellectual property behind the Smashfund viral compensation plan, is that it literally allows you to be able to overlap with the people on the right and the left of you. So what's really cool about this model is that they've understood that the viral nature of a network, so if this was a Facebook or a LinkedIn, it grows like this. It literally grows virally. But that's you, and you see inside of the blue area, that would be your network. But notice how the network on the right and the left of you are also on top of your network. They overlap. You're each going to get paid for any place where it overlaps. So now let's look at that a little bit further out. Each one of them have their own separate networks. And again, nobody can guarantee if you're going to get overlap or not. This is just an example of how the model actually works. But let's extrapolate this one step further to what I call the concentric matrix, the full surrounding of the matrix. And now you can see how it kind of ties together. Now, nobody's really ever had a chance to really explain this, but as you can see, everything overlaps everyone else. And so what happens is, as somebody that's getting involved in the network, you have first yourself, then you have your first 3 people, then you have your next 7 people, then you have your next 15 people, and then it goes to 30 and so on. And so the way that this is going is that you're able to get involved in a viral network that can pay up to $64,000 if you filled out all 16,000 viral connections. And what's exciting about this is that you're at the very beginning. This is at the beginning before the big influencers, the people with large Instagrams and YouTubes and Facebook followings even know about that they can leverage and monetize. See, because currently the only way to really monetize that is to be a brand or to leverage your influence and have people purchase products or advertise and have people access advertising. In this model, you're literally going to get compensated for being part of a viral network. Now, there will be a free membership, although you won't be able to participate in the referring process to earn any money, but that's okay. The goal of it is to get as many people in front of your passion or your project as humanly possible. So I didn't want to take too much time on this video today. My real goal was to really just kind of explain the compensation model in a much more simplistic fashion. See, a lot of people said that if you want to be wealthy in life, take very, very complex ideas and make them simple. And I hope I simplified this for you. I definitely encourage you to get back with the person that shared this video with you so you can get a really clear understanding of how you can be a part of Smashfund, the growth of Smashfund. I truly believe it's going to be the largest crowdfunding platform in history. Right now, we're in the United States and Canada, and we're going to grow throughout the world. And with that, I want to say take care, take charge, and with that, we'll see you at the top.